Win or lose, what matters is that you have a common goal, and to reach that goal, it takes a band of brothers acting as one. Every week, we come together to witness these gladiators of the gridiron pour their heart and soul into the field. This is Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet.
Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet, cruises into Goose Creek, and an absolutely amazing night for high school football. The Goose Creek Gators welcome the Wando Warriors in a critical 7-5A region matchup. Hi everybody, I'm Dean Stevens along with Everett Sherman. When I say critical region 7-5A matchup, people go, what do you mean critical? These teams are 2-4, 0-1 in region play.
It really is. Now the Berkeley Stags, they're kind of the top dog in this region, but both of these teams jockey in to be that second seeded team so that way they can host the home game come playoff time. So a very critical game here tonight in Goose Creek.
Friday Night Rivals had Wando 4 weeks ago against Fort Dorchester, but a much different looking Warrior team. Jimmy Noonan tells me 15 to 20 kids on the sideline injured, including their quarterback from that Fort Dorchester game.
Yeah, Mr. Pickering will take over tonight. Reed Garris was the quarterback the last time we saw them against Fort Dorchester. He got banged up. Pickering, he now is inserted. A better option quarterback, so that gives Wando a better chance offensively to have some success tonight.
Jason Winstead, first year at Goose Creek, looks at the roster, sees this guy, L.J. Stanley, playing tight end last year, said not anymore.
Yeah, he's now a defensive end, just a massive young man, a guy that has 6 sacks coming into tonight's contest. With any luck, he'll have maybe 7, 8, or 9 as he tries to stop this Wando rushing attack.
All right, so Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet. We have dialed up a perfect night of high school football. Thank you for joining us. We kick off right after this. Welcome back to Goose Creek High School, Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet. Tonight, the waxing crescent moon, as these boys from Gators would like to wax the boys from Mount Pleasant tonight. Our Roper St. Francis game time temperature, you read that right, 69 degrees. For the past 6 weeks or so, it has been about the opposite, about 96 degrees out there on the field of play.
think I'd have to agree with you, Dean. Perfect. Finally, some football weather. Bring out the hoodies. As we take a look at tonight's keys to the game for Wando, Dean, we talked about the rushing attack early on, but they've got to be balanced. They have to be able to throw the football as well as run the football. And for Goose Creek, they want to play fast, but also play smart. You can't penalize yourself on a perfect play by making a silly mistake. So tonight, look for Goose Creek to play fast and also attempt to play smart.
Jason Winstead told me earlier this week that he has never seen so many touchdowns called back by penalties than he has seen this year as the first-year head coach of the Goose Creek Gators. I said, you think you've had more of those than actual touchdowns scored? He goes, wouldn't be surprised. So that's why he wants to be able to play smart tonight. Wando won the toss, deferred to the second half, so they will kick off to the Gators. Andrew Weil kicking off for the Gators. Back deep is Maurice Mazik. And Darnell Matthews for Goose Creek. As Weil scribs one through the middle, going to be picked up by Amaru Shepard. He's going to take it up the middle down at about the 33-yard line, and that's where Goose Creek will take over.
Yeah, Nick Wilson on the stop as we'll have the first possession. And again, for this Goose Creek, we're going to say CM, Dean. You have to concentrate, but you also have to be mentally tough. So if you can do those two things, that'll give Goose Creek a better chance to get the win tonight.
Take a look at our starting offenses tonight. Starting lineup brought to you by Wow. Now for the Wow whole home Wi-Fi starting lineup. No slow zones, no dead zones, just Wow zones. Keep an eye on number 79. He's the center. He just goes by Cheese. First snap of the game going inside and a quick handoff for about plus 12. Dante Smith is usually their starting running back, but tonight they're going to go ahead and start off with Maurice Mazik.
Yeah, nice run by Mazik. Eddie Scott as well as Justin Pellick there on the stop for the Wando Warriors. And if you look at Pellick, he's got both hands clubbed, so he's going to have to really do a good job of tackling tonight.
Got a flag that comes in. Our officials tonight, referee Kerry Collins, the umpires Larry Williams, the line judge Arnold Daniel Jr., linesman also Thomas Gregg, and the back judge is Scott Tice.
You know, for both of these teams, Dean, as you're trying to get this win, we talked about how crucial of a game this was for both teams. It's the little things that are going to make the difference in this game tonight. So, again, locking in mentally is going to be important for both units as they try to kind of catch the Berkeley Stags, who obviously right now leading the pack in the region.
Back in the pocket. Quick toss by Mukumu. Going to pick up about 7 of those yards back, 5 of them. Starting quarterback for Goose Creek, Emmanuel Mukumu. That name may sound a bit familiar. That is because his brother, Israel, is a freshman over at South Carolina. Mukwamu, just a junior, does a little bit of everything. Throws it, runs it. Right now, 5 receivers set for him. This time he's going to tuck it, take it right up the middle. He's found a seam and then some. It's going to take about 9 Wando Warriors to take him down to the 32-yard line.
And defensively, Dean, just too much of a cushion for the Wando Warriors. They're going to have to tighten up as we take a look at the replay here. Nothing fancy there, just a straight quarterback run up the middle. And they list Mukumu at 6'1", but Dean looks a lot taller than 6'1" to me. A nice run by the Gators.
Going back, going to look, and he's looking deep. Going to overthrow it in back of the end zone. Had Damon Mouzon, one of his top receivers, had a little step on the defensive back.
Eddie Scott there on the coverage for the Wando Warriors. Both teams, Dean, coming off of wins last week, trying to get that momentum now that they're in region play. Both teams kind of really had a rough non-region preseason, so to speak, but again, picking up crucial region victories last week.
Mouzon takes it to the outside. He's going to pick up about 8, setting up a short 3rd and 2. So again, you see the speed here that Winstead has talked a little bit about earlier this week. They want to get up tempo and they want to go.
Mazik just 5'5", 145 pounds, so just a little guy back there, but as you can see, very elusive, kind of a scat back. And the Wando Warriors having some difficulty finding him in the backfield.
So 3rd and 2 from about the 22. 4 receivers set.
And on that 4-3 look.
Mazik's going to go to the left, and that's where Mukwamu's going to go. Quick pass to look like Shantori Perkins. Looks to be enough for the first down.
And at least on this opening drive, Goose Creek doing a nice job of taking what the defense is giving them. Nothing fancy, just a short pass out there in the flats, and another first down for the Goose Creek Gators. Nice job by Wando running sideline to sideline defensively.
Started up the 7th play of the drive from the 19-yard line. We are now in the judgment-free red zone, brought to you by Planet Fitness. Another pass, this out to the right side. Darnell Matthews going to shake and bake just for about 2.
Nice shadow block that time by Dejon Singleton, the senior wide receiver right there for the Gators, tying his shoe. Did a nice job of locking up that cornerback and not allowing him to come up and make the initial tackle. So good job of blocking by the wide receiver of Goose Creek.
Pick up a 4. He's going back to the end zone. He's going deep back in the corner. And looked like a struggle for the ball.
Interception.
And they're going to get together and talk about it. Certainly looked like Eddie Scott came up with the play, and that's exactly what they're going to call an interception in the back corner of the end zone by number 8, Eddie Scott.
Nice coverage by Scott. I thought this was going to be a touchdown. As you see sometimes on ESPN, Dean, I was going to say he got mossed, but that time give credit to Eddie Scott, getting the inside position, going up, and quite honestly just taking the ball away at the last minute, and he'll come up with the interception. It'll be a touchback, and it'll be a first down for the Wando Warriors.
All right, so the Warriors setting up shop now. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. But a great play by Scott in the back corner of the end zone. A quick handoff inside to their go-to back. Going to be Will Harris.
Wando, that big physical front 4 of the Goose Creek Gators, as we take a look at the starting lineups for the Warriors. Eden, Wilcox, Jakes, Lucas, and Booth up front. Pickering at quarterback, Harris and Noonan in the backfield, the specialist for the Wando Warriors.
Here comes Pickering off of that option. He's got the corner. He's going to take it himself, knock that about the 30-yard line. That was your WOW starting lineup. Whole home Wi-Fi starting lineup. No slow zones, no dead zones, just WOW zones.
Melvin Ravenel with the big hit, and I'm sure Jimmy Noonan, the last thing he wants to see is his quarterback, Will Pickering, go down and take a big hit like that.
Pickering gets enough for the first down. You take a look at the Goose Creek defense. Keep an eye on number 99, L.J. Stanley. Going to play inside and all over the field.
You mentioned, Dean, 15 Wando Warriors out tonight with injuries.
When you take a look at their sidelines, not a whole lot of guys over there. There's L.J. Stanley. We talked about him. Pickering looking to go back and find a receiver, but absolutely no time as Stanley comes in for another sack.
Yeah, 6'3", that's his 7th sack of the season, and Pickering really had no chance to really do anything. Stanley able to get into the backfield rather quickly. That's going to force a 2nd down and long for this Wando offense. And these are the situations, Dean, when you're behind the sticks that Jimmy Noonan does not want his offense to be in, especially when you're that type of option football team.
Well, they talk about balance. This is where Harris is going to take it up the middle. He's going to go back inside, cut it to the outside. He's going to pick up that, plus the first down, all the way out to the 42-yard line. We saw this kid run against Fort Dorchester. Very impressive. A lot of hard work, a lot of grit.
And Tyler Ravenel with the touchdown-saving tackle, and nothing fancy there, just the fullback run up the middle. And you talked about it. Harris running hard and able to pick up a first down for the Warriors. You don't see that every day, Dean, on 2nd down and 18 and a fullback give up the middle for about 20 yards.
Picked it up and then some. Impressive run there by Harris. Pickering's going to go back, look left. He's got 2 receivers to go to. McCarthy had pulled up a little bit. He was double covered on the outside.
Great coverage by Goose Creek, and while that pass obviously not completed, but those are the types of things that Wando has to do. Just throw the ball down the field to keep that defense honest and open up the running lanes for the running back. So, yeah, it wasn't completed, but those are the types of plays to look for Jimmy Noonan every once in a while to dial up a throw deep to kind of get those linebackers and that secondary not kind of peeking in the backfield too soon.
Wando's offensive line also hit hard by injuries. One of their main guys out after the Riley Hills injured in that Fort Dorchester game. He is out for the year. Justin Lucas out with a concussion for this week, so a couple of young kids filling in there. Pickering going to go right. Going to get crushed just to the outside. About a 5-yard loss. You see the speed of that Goose Creek defense.
Quinn Tolbert, the sophomore there, to make the stop, and that's a good job of stretching out that run by Wando. Wanting them, Dean, to go sideline to sideline, not have that ability to turn up. So good job defensively by the Gators.
I was really impressed talking with first-year coach Jason Winstead. Just the culture he's trying to bring back into this program. Sets up a 3rd and 14. Looks to set up a screen pass, but they have sniffed it out. Pickering's just going to throw it away. Flag comes in at about the 40-yard line.
Smart play by Pickering. Nothing there. So it looks like an illegal man downfield against the Wando Warriors. I'm assuming Goose Creek will decline the penalty. Jimmy Noonan obviously not pleased with the call.
He is having a spirited discussion on the far sidelines with the referee over there. And now he's continuing the conversation with referee Kerry Collins. And here comes the punting unit in for Wando.
As you look at the down marker on the sideline in front of the Wando, now they finally change it to 4th down.
Kellen Noonan, the punter for the Warriors. Corey Lucas, one of the main receivers for Goose Creek, back deep to receive. Another penalty flag comes in. I think that's going to be offsides on Wando. And there was a little bit of time there. They were trying to get the punting team onto the field. I didn't know if it was going to be a delay of game. You back them up another 5.
And those, Dean, are the mistakes when you're trying to build that momentum that you simply can't have. It's the little simple things, the false starts and the illegal man downfield. When you're kind of in a rut, you've got to play almost perfect football. Wando not getting off to a sluggish start here offensively.
Nice high punt. Going to go off the hands of Corey Lewis. And he's going to be able to get it back. But a great punt by Noonan to sail it high. Looked like Lucas had a hard time finding the ball. A little late coming up with it. But Goose Creek will start their second possession at the 40-yard line.
And the Gators very lucky. It seemed like the ball bounced forward to Wando, but could not come up with it.
All right. When we come back, Goose Creek, their second possession, they're going to start at the 40-yard line. It's a 0-0 game here. Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet. Welcome back to Goose Creek, Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet, a Region 7-5A matchup. Our A-plus reporter joining us on the sidelines tonight are Brody Hart.
Dean, hey, how are you, sir? So I'm here with Jerry Tekak of Synovus. We were talking about the peanut butter. Yeah, how you doing? Good to see you tonight. Yeah, you said you dialed it down tonight. It's a nice night for football, isn't it?
Beautiful night for football.
All right, well, let's talk about why we're here. We are here to talk about the peanut butter and jelly blitz. What is the PB&J Blitz for those people watching at home wondering what the heck that is?
Well, it's a way for Synovus to give back to our community. We have partnered with the Low Country Food Bank. We have both high schools competing each week to raise the most peanut butter and jelly, and the winner will get $100 today. And at the end of the year, the team that raised the most peanut butter and jelly throughout the year will get a $1,250 check from Synovus.
Okay, did you tell me off camera that it's like 2,000 PB&Js the average person is eating by the time they're about 18? Is that right?
Yeah, 2,000 peanut butter and jelly sandwich by the time they're age 18. And, the average peanut butter and jelly sandwich has 403 calories.
And how much do I have to run off that PB&J?
More than I'm going to run tonight.
We're not going to get on the track right here and run around?
Not tonight. There's too many people on our way.
All right. Well, so we've got these two teams competing for this. So Goose Creek is our winner, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead and bring it in now. So we got the check to give to Goose Creek. They had more than 1,100 pounds of peanut butter and jelly. How many is that? Quick.
That's a lot. I'm a banker, but I'm not that quick.
All right.
Actually, this program has raised over 21,000 pounds of peanut butter and jelly so far this season.
That is awesome. Well, congrats to both teams, especially to Goose Creek tonight, and thank you to both of them for participating. Dean, I'm going to go ahead and send it back to you guys in the booth.
All right, thanks a lot. A lot of yardage being chewed up right here by the Goose Creek offense. A 14-yard run by Manny, and then he comes back with a 15-yard pass, and you follow that up with about a 15-yard run here by number 22, Maurice Mazik.
Yeah, Jack Carson, the last guy between him and the end zone. And right now, Goose Creek getting just a ton of yards and chunks. And the Wando defense, they have to tighten up. They can't allow this much freedom offensively for the Goose Creek.
Kwambu going back outside, going to get stood up on the corner. Nice tackle there by number 40, Nick Wilson.
Also Austin Singleton on the stop for the Wando Warriors, and now it seems like Wando's kind of utilizing that bend but don't break defense mentality. They were able to get the stop on the opening drive. Goose Creek once again in the red zone.
2nd and 5. Kwambu getting stopped at the line of scrimmage.
That big front four, Jalen Edwards along with Austin Singleton.
My TV Charleston, ABC News 4, proud to present each participating home school a check for $500. This grant provides each school with extra funding to help make their school great. Over the past 8 seasons, Friday Night Rivals, our sponsors, have donated $85,000 to Low Country students and schools. Congratulations from My TV Charleston, ABC News 4, and Friday Night Rivals.
It's a big third down coming up here for both teams, offensively and defensively. Let's see what happens as Goose Creek trying to punch it in.
Kwambu going to Darnell Matthews, just thrown a bit high. It's going to bring on the field goal unit. So a couple of drives stalled out, a couple of good drives stalling out for the Goose Creek Gators. That first drive ended with that Eddie Scott interception. That was an 8-play drive. This one about a 7-play drive. Sets up David Kennedy, the sophomore.
Bad snap, and Wando's going to recover. Didn't even get the field goal attempt off, Dean. And if you're Jimmy Noonan, you have to be awfully excited. It seems like Goose Creek has almost 200 yards of offense here in the first quarter, but they have nothing to show for it. And the Wando Warriors defense comes up again with a big stop.
We're going to crunch some numbers brought to you by Anderson Brothers Bank. We talked about this schedule. This is what's on the horizon for Wando, Goose Creek tonight. Then they turn around to Cane Bay, and they finish up with James Island and Stratford. Cane Bay quarterback injured last week. So these are games Jimmy Noonan says can put them in the driver's seat for that second spot in Region 7-5A. Will Pickering taken down after a short game.
Yeah, Quinn Tolbert, the 5'10" sophomore there to meet Pickering, not allow him to gain any yardage on that quarterback run.
More importantly, say it's going to be a loss of 1 yard.
For Wando, Dean, based on where they are on the field, you got to pick up at least a first down or two to allow your defense a chance to kind of catch their breath and maybe even possibly flip this field.
Pickering's going to take this one up the middle, going to take it just past the 22, 23-yard line.
Fumble.
Goose Creek looks like they've come up with the ball, but the officials say ball on the ground. Let's turn on our Zaxby's fans cam. We got the Zaxby's remote control up here. Goose Creek cheer squad. Got the pom-poms going tonight. A big game for the Gators.
Homecoming night here at Goose Creek. Always a good time, Dean, to get some of the alumni to come back and catch a high school football game and a perfect night for homecoming. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better night than what we have here.
We got encroachment by Goose Creek.
That's a give the Wando Warriors a first down with the penalty. And that goes back to the play fast, but also play smart. Another penalty for the Gators.
Well, we've seen those examples of shooting themselves in the foot already here in the first quarter. Still 2 minutes to go. 1st and 10 from about the 26-yard line. Will Harris going to go to the outside, but great stop there by number 34, Jackson Price.
A great penetration in that Wando front line. They have got to do a better job of keeping the Goose Creek defensive line out of the backfield. They're disrupting the play, and really this Wando offense, whenever they've ran side to side, Dean, that's where they're having some problems. So it looks like they're going to have to go north and south, not try to stretch anything sideline to sideline, hit Goose Creek with the quick hitters.
The H-back, Sullivan Vanderveen, coming out, replaced by number 6, Jakyle Wigfall. So they'll go to a 4 wide receiver set with Pickren and Will Harris in the backfield. And another flag comes down from the back judge. Now they're going to call a delay a game on Wando.
And you have play clocks in both end zones. So Will Pickren, the junior quarterback, have to pick that up a little quicker, or at least get the plays in to allow him a chance to call out the cadence.
Maybe a late substitution threw them off a little bit. Nevertheless, it's going to set up 2nd and 17. Wigfall in motion. Pickren in the shotgun. Going to throw it out to Wigfall. Going to take it at the 15-yard line, turn it upfield, pick up 10 yards. Big hit there by number 11, Devontae Pryor.
You're right about that. Talking about blowing someone up as we take a look at the replay here. Just a quick pass out in the flat. Nice job by Jamal Hayes coming up with the catch. And again, getting north and south. As soon as you catch it, turn it up the field and try to get as many positive yards as you possibly can. So another 3rd down facing this Wando offense. And it seems like Dean played the whole first quarter on this end of the field.
And playing from behind the chains. Harris is out to the right. Pickering scrambles, going to throw it across. He's going to find Noonan at the 25. He just runs out of real estate, picks up maybe a yard on the play. Great pressure by that Goose Creek defensive front as we get to the end of the first quarter. And a quick first quarter it was.
And just too much pressure. The offensive line, they've got to give Pickering a chance to make a play.
Well, you talked about off camera when we showed up today, and you looked at Goose Creek, and what'd you say?
Very impressive physically.
Just athletic. And that's what you usually see out of these Goose Creek football players. Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet. We're sitting on goose eggs as we head in to the second quarter. Thanks for joining us tonight. Welcome back to Goose Creek. An absolutely beautiful night for high school football. The first one we've had probably since last year.
Yeah, I know you and Darren had a scorcher last week over there at Portugal, so safe to say it's a little cooler tonight than it was last Friday.
Wando kicking again. Noonan boots. It's going to hit at the 50-yard line. And take a Wando bounce about 10 yards. Goose Creek will set up shop. 1st and 10 from the 40.
The Warrior defense, they've been playing with fire. Granted, they kept Goose Creek off the scoreboard in the first quarter, but needless to say, to take a look at crunching the numbers here, Dean, Goose Creek, after tonight's contest, they'll host James Island next week here at Goose Creek, and then they'll end their regular season on the road with 2 away games at Stratford and at Berkeley. So again, crucial game here tonight. But getting back to this Wando defense, Dean, they've got to make sure that they not allow Goose Creek to continue to get these big yards in chunks. Eventually, they're going to reach the end zone. Wando's got to come out with the stop here.
Kwame hands it off inside to Maurice Mazik. And there you see number 9, Justin Pellick. He's got not 1, but 2 hands casted up.
But
broke a bone in his right hand. And then last week, in the first quarter, breaks a bone in his hand, plays the entire game, and finishes with 16 tackles.
And also doing that, became the all-time leader in tackles in Wando football history.
A pass play over the middle, brought inside by Damon Muzan.
Take a look there.
Pick up about 5 yards.
You probably just wanted him to cut it off. But yeah, last week now with 269 tackles in his career at Wando, 7 more, or now 9 more than any other Wando Warrior. And when you think of some of the great Wando defenders like Dexter Coakley, who played in the NFL for 10-plus years for the Cowboys, and Lamont Nelson, just to name a few, that's quite an accomplishment for Justin Pellick.
Luzon's 3rd down pass is going to be dropped on the inside by Corey Lewis, which is surprising just a bit. Corey Lewis, the deep ball threat, said he's got the best hands on the team, but good defense there by Wando's secondary.
Now that's what the Wando Warrior defense was hoping. They got a 3 and out. Didn't allow this Goose Creek offense to test the waters in terms of being in that red zone, and now they'll get better field position because of the 3 and out.
David Kennedy back to punt for Goose Creek. It's going to be a fake to the inside. Great job by Kennedy. Even better job by number 45, Jamel McGee. That's 6'1", 245, taking the direct snap and then turning the corner to the outside.
And a perfect call that time by the Goose Creek Gators is, the fake executed perfectly by Goose Creek. And you have to think, you're at the 45-yard line. Really, your defense has done a nice job of stopping this Wando offense, so give credit to Goose Creek.
Great job. Great job by Kennedy. The drama department needs him. As they go back into that 4 wide receiver set. Mazik in the backfield. Mukwamu going to hand it to him. Quick burst inside for 2.
Raymond Rivera on the stop. And it's so, when you look at this young man, Dean, Maurice Mazik, again, 5'5", 145 pounds. He just kind of hides behind that massive offensive line. So by the time you see him, he's already at the 2nd level of this defense. So the scat back, while he may not be big in physical size, he definitely runs hard.
Mukwamu back. He's got some pressure. He's got a wide open field in front of him. He's got Mazik to block for him. Mazik picks up a block. Mukwamu's got 5 guys, dragging him down all the way down to the 18-yard line, but a flag is down back behind the line of scrimmage.
And Dean, I've known you for a very long time. As we take a look at the replay here, and maybe Holden Stone in that area, but no, we'll go a face mask against Wando. But yeah, Dean, I've known you from a very long time. When you see this young man and you see him run the football and just his mannerisms from a body standpoint, who does he remind you of that plays on Sundays?
Who are we talking about?
Doesn't he remind you like Cam Newton?
The quarterback?
Just the way he runs, and he's got that kind of big physical size. I mean, look at him compared to his running back standing right next to him. Is Goose Creek now in the judgment-free red zone by Planet Fitness.
So you want to put the Cam title on him?
Now, he is obviously not Cam, but just physically he looks like him.
First and 10 from the 10, fake left, come back to the screen for the right. That's going to be a pass inside. That pass is going to lead to a touchdown by Dejon Singleton. Gators on the board first on homecoming.
And perfect execution. Okumu knew he was going to get hit. He stood in there, took the big hit, and able to deliver it to his speedy wide receiver, Dejon Singleton. The senior strikes first for the Goose Creek Gators.
And what a great job by the Wando defense at the start of this drive to stop them 3 and out. And then Coach Winstead dials up the fake punt. Kennedy pulls off the fake great. And of course, Jamel McGee does the rest, picking up the first down, and leads to Goose Creek touchdown. Kennedy's kick going to be blocked, so we're going to keep it at 6-0 here with 9:41 on the clock in the second quarter.
Looked like Jack Carson that came off the edge and able to block the extra point. But needless to say, the Gators get on the board first.
Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet. Thanks for joining us in a perfect night of football. We're back after this. This Friday Night Rivals season, we're launching the Synovus PB&J Blitz benefiting the Low Country Food Bank, the local high school that donates the most jars of peanut butter and jelly wins. Synovus will give $100 to the winning school each week, $2,500 to the overall champion at the end of the season, with half going to the school, the other half to the Low Country Food Bank.
You can never go wrong, Dean, with a good old peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That's America's favorite pastime.
Is it?
Kind of like baseball.
Does it replace the hot dog?
An
absolutely. Onside kick by the Gators. Wow, Jason Winstead dialing it all up. Yeah, I think what happened, though, I think the ball, once Kennedy kicked it, I think it took a bad hop and hit one of the Gator players. So they're going to spot that ball at about the Gators' 49-yard line. Take a look.
And they topped it as you're supposed to. And that front, yeah, hit it right there. That's your front line. They're supposed to kind of go and take out the front line of Wando and put their kind of backs to the Wando Warriors. So that way the second wave can recover it, but it did not execute. They did not execute, I should say. So Wando will have outstanding field position. They'll start in Goose Creek territory, Dean, at the 49.
First and 10, 49, 9:40 on the clock. Pickering fakes it inside and then is slammed to the ground by Quinn Tolbert.
And right now, it just seems like Goose Creek in an all-out run blitz. They're not really worried about Wando passing the football on them. And right now, they're just sending everyone. And unfortunately, Wando having a difficult time keeping those guys out of the backfield.
Set up about 2nd and 15 back at the 46-yard line. That play, it's a bit worrisome when you see the head get slammed to the turf like that. Pickering's going to take it back to the right side, slip back to the left side. L.J. Stanley's there. I don't know if he's credited for the sack, because I think that was going to be, looked like a run play out the option.
And it seems as if Wando's just whiffing on these guys as they're trying to get into the backfield. And I'm sure Coach Noonan and the offensive staff, they'll have to come up with some way to kind of slow down. Usually, in that case, Dean, if they're going to rush that hard and that fast, that's when you kind of want to maybe throw a screen to kind of slow them down, invite them in, and just kind of throw it over the top.
Looking at 3rd and 20 now. Pickering back. Pickering's going to hold it and take it straight up the middle. Going to lower his shoulder, take Nehemiah Simmons for a ride. Takes it almost back to the original line of scrimmage. Now Pickering's on the ground, favoring his right side.
Yeah, he was kind of, I don't know, I guess they kind of, I don't want to say folded him back in half, but that tackle, as we take a look here, at the very ending, you'll see he's kind of pulled back. And it looked like his legs were kind of caught under him. A very dangerous place we see right here and pulled back. So, yeah, his right knee possibly. We don't want to speculate on ankle. Hopefully he's okay, but the injury bug has definitely, Mark Bookman, the trainer who's been at Wando for 18 years, definitely has been a busy man here as of late.
Noonan's going to punt it. Going to be nobody down and get a great roll down to about the 8-yard line. That's where Goose Creek will set up shop. So what happens if Pickering's not able to come back? Jimmy Dinu told me that Reed Garris is good to go, ready to go. He's also got another sophomore on the bench that he said he could bring in as well. Right now, let's bring it down to Brody Hart down the sidelines. Brody.
Hey guys, so I'm here with 2 representatives from Anderson Brothers Banks. We've got Amy Bryant and Linda Moneymaker. Yes, her last name is Moneymaker. I know you get that all the time. Do you get that all the time?
All the time, yes.
All right. So I want to talk to you about small consumer loans, right? So that's something you kind of do to help people get back on their feet. Is that right?
Absolutely. So we do small consumer loans better than anyone else. Most of your large banks actually don't offer the small loans, and the loans that they do offer, they require you to have excellent credit. On the other hand, finance companies do offer that type of loan. However, they can't match our rates that we offer. The bottom line is behind every personal loan is a real person, and sometimes things happen. We approve all of our loans locally, so come see us at 30 Main.
Yeah, things happen like storms and hurricanes, things like that. Yeah.
Absolutely, that does happen, yes.
All right, Amy, this one's for you. What kind of sets Anderson Brothers Bank apart?
So Anderson Bank truly does treat their customers and employees like family, not a number. And like a family, if there is a need, the communication lines are open all the way to the top to hear and try to satisfy those needs. A big example of that is Hurricane Florence. We actually donated $10,000 to the Red Cross. We made multiple donations to local shelters, and we helped our customers with any financial hardships during this time for income or storm losses.
And that's great for the Red Cross because they had a lot of blood drives canceled because of that storm, so that's awesome. So you said that Anderson Brothers Bank is a small community bank, but you said that the best branch is in Somerville?
It is.
Okay.
Come see us in Somerville. Absolutely. We have a fantastic staff. Everybody knows you by name. We're super friendly. You come in, we're going to get you a water or a soft drink. You know, we really do treat people like family.
Well, I can tell in the 3 minutes I've known you both. I will have to stop in. Thank you both.
Please do.
Okay. Nice talking to you. Guys, go ahead and get it back to you.
They don't really understand they're not going to get rid of you now, right, Brody?
Yeah. I might small consumer loan.
That's right. Come see it.
Ah.
All right, the punt by Kennedy going to roll down to about the 47-yard line, 48-yard line. The question now, who comes back on the field as a quarterback for Wando? Pickering goes limping off on the last series. Offense comes back, and Pickering will be back to lead this offense. 1st and 10 from Goose Creek's 40-yard line.
Great job by that Wando defense to force that 3 and out and try to maintain this outstanding field position, but they have to capitalize on these opportunities.
Harris going to take it inside. He's going to pick up about 5 yards on the play. And I'll be honest, going back and looking back at the Fort Dorchester game, Wando was able to run the ball effectively, but they did it between the tackles. They got in trouble when they tried to get around the ends.
Yeah, we talked about it. They have to run north and south. They really don't have the speed against this athletic front of Goose Creek to try and stretch this out. They're not going to beat them to the corners. So, yeah, you're right. Give it to Harris. Let him run north and south and just see what happens.
Pickering's going to take it himself, pick up about 3 yards to set up a 3rd and 3. There's a pretty gutsy run for a kid who just looked like he had snapped his ankle about 5 minutes ago. Zaxby's fans cam here at homecoming at Goose Creek. We got 4 guys cheering for a Zaxby's snack right now.
And if it's me, Dean, I'm giving the ball to 32. He runs hard. He runs north and south. If anybody can pick up this first down, it's going to be Mr. Harris. So let's see what the call is here from Jimmy Noonan and his staff.
He's going to roll Pickering out to the left. Said he likes to run it that way. And he's going to pick up the first down plus some, about a 10-yard pickup, and then a flag comes in at the end of the play.
What a block by Jamal Hayes, the wide receiver for Wando, the juniors. We take a look here. The quarterback run to the left, and you'll see Hayes here with a big block right there that kind of frees him up and allows him to pick up additional yards. And I believe, Dean, you can tack on 15 as well, as the late hit out of bounds will put Wando in outstanding field position.
It looks like Tyler Ravenel clipped him while he was out of bounds. But again, you go back and look at that replay of Pickering and that ankle injury. It didn't look good.
No. Unfortunately able to.
He comes back on that drive with 2 consecutive carries.
Now, Wando has an outstanding kicker, and Andrew Wow. But if you're Jimmy Noonan, you have to be thinking touchdown here in this type of contest, because you're not sure when you'll get down this far again, this deep in Goose Creek territory. So they got to capitalize here.
4 receivers out. Pickering's going to throw it to the right to Noonan. He's going to pick up, maybe get back to the line of scrimmage. And the interesting thing you said about the field goal and Andrew Wow, the kid is really, really good. But the thing that concerned me is their last game. He had field goals of 22, 21, 19 yards. What does that tell you?
They're getting inside the 5, but they're not capitalizing.
The judgment-free red zone.
Yeah,
they're having a hard time finishing off those drives inside. Those are short field goals.
And that's when the offensive linemen have to go to Planet Fitness and lift an extra weight to push that defense back into the end zone.
Pickering's going to follow up that 2-yard pass play to Noonan. Looks like about 4 or 5 yards himself.
L.J. Stanley, as well as Naheem Simmons on the stop for the Gators, and a huge third down coming up for the Wando Warriors. And you have to give it to, well, I'm going to now, because I like giving guys nicknames. Will Harris is going to be my Mike Allstott. You got to give it to Mike Allstott here, Dean Stevens, and let him run north and south, lower his head between the tackles.
3rd and 4 now. And it is going to be Harris.
No,
it's not. It's going to be Pickering. He's going to be brought down at the 10-yard line.
If it's me, I go for it, Dean. And here comes the field goal team. Because you're going to be probably about 2 yards short. And this team, you have to think the offensive line finally starting to feel good about themselves, getting a little momentum, as we'll have a timeout taken by Goose Creek.
Goose Creek wants to see exactly what Wando's going to line up. But again, as you said, you saw Andrew Weil, the senior kicker, come on. He has been really, really good this year for this team. 3 field goals against West Ashley, as we talked about. At Goose Creek head coach Jason Winstadt. This is a guy who was up at the Clemson area, coached at Daniel, was actually an assistant coach at Daniel during Bowden Bowl 1.
Okay.
Now, the reason that's a big deal is because that was the night that Tommy and Bobby all went to Daniel High School to see Tommy's son play.
Correct.
So, being a member of the media that night, it was a wild goose chase.
And remember, Bobby had to get special permission from the NCAA because it was the dead period in terms of recruiting to see his grandson play soccer or football.
Yeah, but he had coached at Lawrence, was at Rock Hill High School for 5 years, which was dominating, then is the defensive coordinator for 7 years at South Point High School. 5 state championships in 7 years. He brings a winning tradition down here. He really wants to bring the tradition back here to Goose Creek as Weil sets up for about a 28-yard field goal.
And speaking with the coaches before the game, they think Weil has a chance to kick in college.
He's going to go ahead and drill that one through, cut the lead in half. So Andrew Weil keeps up a pretty good streak here, puts the Warriors on the board. The senior makes it a 6-3 game.
Yeah, the coaching staff, they seem to think he, right now, obviously could definitely kick at a Division II or lower 1AA, or I guess they now call it the FBS
Right.
division. But he seems to think he wants to kind of, as we say, take the Parker White route and maybe walk on at a bigger school, a Power 5 school. Of course, Parker, the former Wando standout, now kicker for the South Carolina Gamecocks, who hit the game winner last week against Missouri up at Williams-Brice Stadium.
How about that? That was a great moment, considering last year he struggled mightily. Social media crushed him.
Yes.
Right? Just crushed the kid. And he comes back and has been absolutely stellar this year, and a win that certainly the Gamecocks needed last weekend against Missouri.
So now, Dean, you got 2:20 left. You have finally gotten on the board if you're the Wando Warriors. You can't allow Goose Creek to score here before the half because Wando will start the second half with the football.
Corey Lucas back deep for Goose Creek alongside Maurice Mazik. He's at the top of your screen. As that takes a funny bounce. Mazik's going to pick it up at the 10. He's going to bring it back out to the 25. Looks like that's where his forward motion will be stopped. So 2:11 on the clock for Goose Creek to see what they can get done here against a Wando defense that has just been crushed by injuries. And we talked about Justin Pellick playing with those 2 casts on the hands. Linebacker Jake Fetchin, he was injured during the Berkeley game. He's out for the year with a knee injury. A second-string linebacker, Jake Fitch, who was their H-back, is expected to miss 4 games here as well. So they've really had to piece together some things as they look to slow down. It seems to be a really, really good quarterback. Ukwamu's going to take it himself and pick up about 5.
Nothing fancy there. We'll have a stoppage of play. And right now, from a passing perspective, neither team been able to connect on a pass really longer than 5 or 10 yards, playing it safe. And right now, Goose Creek just content to just run the ball, and if they can, run it down the field over the last 2:03.
And Manny Ukwamu's brother Israel is defensive back, freshman at South Carolina. He was at Berkeley and had moved out to Louisiana and then had committed to the Gamecocks. And once he made that commitment to the Gamecocks, family then moved back here to be closer to Israel. So a clutch pickup for Winstead to have this kid in here. Now you take a look at the back of this huddle, and it was a kid that we spotlighted last year. Absolutely love him. He is the center, and he just goes by the name of Cheese. Tremaine James, he's 6'2", 365. He has moved over from defense to play center this year, bought into what Jason Winstead was preaching, got in some great shape, really believes that he's got the potential to play on Saturdays. Ukwamu goes back to 16. That's Corey Lucas on the inside, enough for a first down. They're going to move the chains.
Great pursuit by the Wando defensive lineman, Jalen Edwards, to come up with the stop. And Dean, it's kind of, you said he's in great shape, and he still weighs 365 pounds. That's a large young man.
Ukwamu back to Lucas. Lucas going to split the defenders, going to be bring down after a pickup of 11 yards.
And all these passes by Goose Creek, they're all possible because of the blocking by the wide receivers of Goose Creek. We'll see it here again. They throw it to the middle guy, and his teammates doing some great shadow blocking down the field, and that's been able to free up the wide receivers of Goose Creek. However, it's going to come back because there's a penalty flag on the play.
I think it was an illegal formation. But, yeah, you're going to take 10 yards and then push them back and make it 1st and 15. Looks like from about the 33-yard line.
And if you're Goose Creek, plenty of time, 1:44, you can just kind of dink and dunk your way down the field. And if you can pick up 10 to 15 yards on every play, obviously you'll be in the red zone before you know it. So Wando will have to tighten up defensively.
Zeke in the backfield. He's going to go long, though. Corey Lucas is going to pick it off at the 34-yard line, and a great throw and a great grab by Goose Creek.
If you're Jack Carson, he was in position to make a play, but unfortunately Carson just 5'7", and a nice throw and catch right here by the Gators. Able to get his feet down, and just like that, the Gators in Wando territory.
At a 34-yard pickup, it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 32. Go back to Lucas again. Lucas going to hit by Eddie Scott. Scott's going to push him out of bounds and let him go just in time.
Just a short, quick passes by Goose Creek. And just as Wando starts to creep up, that's when the Gators hit them with the big pass down the sideline.
Set up a 2nd and 3 now, about the 26-yard line.
I have a feeling, Dean, look for a quarterback run coming up here, especially to the wide side of the field. They got one guy trying to defend 3.
5 receivers. Basically turn it a 6-on-6. And Mukwamu's going to take it all the way down to the 5-yard line. A great run by Manny Mukwamu. And when you set out 5 receivers like that, you really do play a 6-on-6 game or a 7-on-6 game, really.
It's basically just man on man, and basically you spread the field out when you have the 5 wide receivers, and if you're the quarterback, you just make people miss.
Look at Mukwamu. Flag on the play.
And once again, play fast, but you also have to play smart. Another big play negated by a penalty.
Let's go down to the sidelines. We have our David Ayler Law Office Educator Spotlight, Brady Hart.
Hey guys, I'm here with Goose Creek High School Athletic Director Chris Buchholz. Got it. All right. So, talking about football tonight. Great night for football. What's going on with this program right now?
A lot of exciting things here at Goose Creek. We have new principal, new AD, new athletic director, all in a year and a half.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of
lot of change right now.
Yeah, a lot of change. Just really proud of these guys. We saw kind of a big change in culture over the summer. A lot of kids in the weight room working hard, and we're starting to see some of that out on the field. Haven't always been, I guess, haven't seen the scoreboards I wanted at the end of every game, but I've seen that growth this whole year.
And that's what matters. So talk to me about some other programs going on in the school right now. We've got a big play, guys. Down to the 5-yard line right now. So, what else is going on?
Goose Creek's a very diverse school. We got a lot of really great things going on. A lot of people they forget we're the center for the arts as well. So our band puts on a great show every night that we're out here. Stunning, amazing chorus, great drama program. And a lot of those kids are actually athletes as well. So a lot of folks don't know that about Goose Creek. But
Chris Buchholz, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
He's the athletic director for Goose Creek High School, guys. I'll get it back to you.
I know their drama program is excellent here because David Kennedy, the punter, should be enrolled. All right.
Indeed.
So Mukwamu goes back to the pass, hits Lucas. He takes it down, to the 5-yard line after a tough penalty, which was actually a block in the back. So they put themselves back in position with 44 seconds left. But you see kind of the idea of what Winstead wants. And he talked about, once I get these kids to buy in, he goes, we'll be hard to stop.
I mean, look at it. It's almost kind of like a bubble screen. It's nothing fancy there. You have the wide receiver just stepping back, allowing the 2 wide receivers in front. And you're right, Dean. As soon as they have the big play, they spot the ball, they're back in the huddle, and they're ready to go again. So that's a situation where, as time goes on, and as you say, they buy in completely to the program, he'll be able to execute this offense that he wants to flawlessly. So good job by Goose Creek, and let's see if the Wando defense can keep them out of the end zone, or if Goose Creek can add a little insurance here before the half.
They're in the judgment-free red zone, sponsored by Planet Fitness. Mukwamu going to look left, going to throw left. Going to have a flag down in the end zone as the pass was completed and stopped at about the 1-yard line, going back to Corey Lucas. And what's interesting on this drive, you've got 6 passes to Corey Lucas. Muzan has been the guy, has been his go-to guy for most of the year. 37 catches, while Lucas has just had 21 on the year. Feels like Lucas has doubled that already tonight.
See, that's a holding penalty on a pass, Dean. And, that situation, you just got to kind of stay in front of your guy for, 3 seconds and just get those hands out and not grab onto the jersey. So another unfortunate penalty for the Gators. Will back them up.
Third penalty of this drive. They seem to have overcome him. Mukwamu's looking right. He's going to take it up the middle. He's going to run into big number 78. That's Jalen Edwards.
Kind of just ran into a wall and just stopped Jalen Edwards.
Another flag on the play, by the way.
6 foot, 300-pound senior for the Wando Warriors. And as you called it, Dean, another penalty. I think you said it, Dean. We said it before the game off the air, that the Goose Creek coaching staff said they'd had more touchdowns called back by penalties than touchdowns scored. And you have to think they should have already been in the end zone by now, but the penalties are killing these plays.
About 7 seconds ago, they were at the 1-yard line. They're now set up at the 35. As Wando, or as Goose Creek has taken a timeout here with about 28 seconds left, a 6-3 game. But Jason talked about when he first got here and what he's asking these kids to do, and just the process of football. And he said that's the thing that surprised him. He found kids not really willing to buy in. And to him, he's like, that's fine. You're not willing to buy in. You're not going to be a part of this program. And what does that mean? Those 7-on-7s, the summer workouts, the conditioning, what it takes to be good. He saw that at South Point High School, and he's trying to bring that here, that, you can't make a doctor's appointment on a 4:30 on a Wednesday.
No, not at all. I mean, football, you have to be bought into your team. And when you think about the good old days of Goose Creek, back when Chuck Reedy was here and really had this program, he kind of inherited the same type of situation. And we know what he did in his 13 years at the helm here at Goose Creek.
28 seconds left. Mukwamu looking right, going to run it right. Pellet coming on the backside, trying to strip the ball out.
I mean, you got to
tell you what, if I wanted a tree removed from my yard without any tools.
Man, the man's got not one but 2 clubs on, broken hand. Look at it, he runs this play down, never gives up on the play. Pellet is just in a hunt mode, and he just comes up with the tackle. The man has no hands, Dean, no hands, and he's making plays.
So another timeout.
And it's easy to see why he is the all-time leader in terms of tackles at Wando.
And Scotty had talked about whose record he broke, but I was surprised that it wasn't Dexter Coakley's.
That's because Dexter had so many other outstanding defenders on his team. He may not have had the ability to come up with as many tackles, but yeah, Rock was one of those special types of players that when we say sideline to sideline, he literally could run sideline to sideline, and obviously an All-American at Appalachian State, and then went on to play for the Cowboys and the Rams for 10 years. And, just one of the all-time greats to don the Warrior uniform.
Set the stage. It's 2nd and goal from the 32. 3 receivers set left. Corey Lucas at the bottom of your screen. Mukwamu's going to set up. He's going to be tripped up a little bit by Pellick on the backside. He's going to throw it deep into the end zone. Corey Lucas gets position. Corey Lucas is going to take it down to about the 2-yard line. And you talk about defensive position on a basketball court and rebounding. That's exactly what happened right there.
Yeah, that's just a jump ball. You throw it up. Good catch by Lucas, but better really give credit to Wando because, he was trying to get into the end zone. In that case, you have to somehow keep him out, and that's exactly what Wando did. They will hold on and go into the locker room only trailing 6-3.
Yeah, what a clutch play by the Wando defenders to stop him. But, man, on that drive, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, that is 7 receptions on one drive. Let's go down to Brody Hart now with the Goose Creek head coach.
Coach Winstead, you're up 6-3 right now. Something tells me you're not satisfied with that 3-point lead.
No, that's about the 8th time. We keep getting inside 10 and we're killing ourselves. So we got to fix those mistakes because you can't win ball games like that.
So a couple holding calls at the end of the half. What are you going to tell your team now?
Yeah, they got to play with technique. They got to concentrate. Every play matters. But we got to come out second half. We still got the lead. We just got to play hard and we got to keep doing what we're doing.
Coach, good luck.
All right, thank you.
Guys.
All right, Brody, thanks so much. So a 6-3 game, a missed extra point, and then a field goal by Wando. As Jason Winstead walking off the field like a lawyer who just lost a case. He'll have a talking to with his team when we come back. Our halftime show. You're watching Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet. Welcome to the Zaxby's Halftime Show. Let Zaxby's cater your next tailgate with your favorites like the chicken fingers platter or salad bar. Visit Zaxby's.com for full menu and to find a location near you. Each week, Zaxby's gives you a chance to win some free food. You can text chicken to 44332. Text chicken to 44332 for your chance to win $100 worth of delicious Zaxby's. Each week, David Ayler's law office is proud to highlight a scholar athlete from each participating school. The students selected will have an opportunity to win a $5,000 scholarship at the end of the season. Tonight's scholar athletes from Wando, Sarah Masroon, 4.4 GPA, plays a little volleyball, involved in the Somerville Meals on Wheels. And Dante Smith, a 3.7 GPA, the running back we've not seen tonight, riddled by injuries, all Region 7 5A pick, GPA at 3.70.
Friday night means football is underway. I'm joined now with Margaret from David Ayler Law Offices. Margaret, so happy to have you here with us.
Thank you for having me.
You guys have gotten involved in Friday night rival footballs. Tell me about the scholarship that you guys give away.
Yeah, so this is our second year in a row getting involved with Friday Night Rivals. And last year we gave a $5,000 scholarship to a student who excelled both in the classroom and on the field, and it was great to see our money go towards such a great cause.
Now you guys get to meet so many different students and athletes. How excited are they to receive that scholarship?
They're very excited because they've worked so hard to get this scholarship, and they all deserve a chance at winning the scholarship.
Okay, well, Margaret, thank you so much for being here with us today. I'll send things back to you guys in the booth.
All right, Megan, thanks so much. A tight ball game here. Penalties and mistakes on each side keep it a low-scoring game. It is 6-3. Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet. Welcome to the Zaxby's Halftime Show. Let Zaxby's cater next tailgate with your favorites like the chicken fingers platter or salad bar. Visit Zaxby's.com for full menu and to find a location near you. Tonight's trophy provided by RKO Total Graphics in downtown Charleston. Thanks for being part of our team tonight. NA fans, we're giving you an opportunity to vote tonight's Spirit Award. To vote for the home team, Goose Creek, text Cheer A to 44332.
5, 6, 7, 8. GCGATORS. 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 We are the ladies in black and gold, yes, black and gold. Goose Creek Gators are legends in the making. Our
College as a pre-med major. Couple number 9, Taylor.
All right. Again, you can text Cheer A and 44332 for Goose Creek. Text Cheer B to 44332 for Wando. Cast a vote for the Spirit Award. Results later tonight during our broadcast. It's a 6-3 game. You're watching the Zaxby's halftime show on Friday Night Rivals. Welcome to Zaxby's Halftime Show. Let Zaxby's cater your next tailgate with your favorites like the chicken fingers platter or that salad bar. Visit Zaxby's.com for a full menu and to find a location near you. You ready to go? E-Dog? All right, let's check in with our scoreboard first. Check some scores out from around the Low Country tonight. Fort Dorchester with a 23-point halftime lead on Stall. Berkeley beating up on James Island right now. Somerville doing the same to West Ashley. And Hanahan is beating Georgetown 13-0. We talk about the importance of the winner of this game to keep track with everybody else in the division or in the region play. The winner certainly I think takes a leg up on reaching that goal, and that is to host a playoff game. You finish that second seed in your region, and you do just that. All right, let's turn it down to Brody Hart. He's down on the sidelines with us right now.
All right, hey guys. Yep. So I am here with Senior Airman Calvin Watson. Did I say that right? Senior Airman of the United States Air Force. Okay, awesome. So we're talking about the Air Force military service. What are some benefits in your opinion? What have you learned about kind of being in the Air Force that you think is a benefit?
So for me, I feel that the Air Force is an awesome launching pad simply because it gives people an opportunity to get away from home. Especially. We've got a lot of high schoolers here. Some of them are kind of on the fence about whether or not they want to go to school or pursue a career. This allows you to do both because, it's like when you're in the Air Force, there's a huge emphasis on education. So, you get your technical expertise. You're given an opportunity to go to school. We have TA, which is tuition assistance, gives you the opportunity to go to school on the government's dollar, essentially. You don't have to do anything out of pocket. And you can really just pursue whatever type of education you want, whether it's vocational, typical, like your STEM subjects or whatnot. You have the opportunity to really do some of everything.
Okay. So once you've done that, once you've pursued that education, how can this launch you into a career?
See, that's the awesome thing, right? The skill sets that you pick up while you're in the Air Force, they translate very well to the civilian sector. Whether or not you choose to stay in, I mean, you know, I feel that the Air Force really empowers you to make an informed decision either way. We would love to keep you because military service, if we can keep you as a part of the family, we would be more than happy to. But if you do choose to make the transition to the civilian sector, I mean, you know, you're armed with a very potent skill set. You've got the education. You've got the leadership skills. I feel that you really can't fail either way.
You've got a group of men and women that you can share an experience with that you'll have together the rest of your life, really.
Right. I mean, you know, Air Force, this is my second film. This is my first family, which is Watson, but Air Force is my second film. You know, all of us wear it on the left side of our uniform because it truly is a huge family. You're going to pick up various members, you know, as you progress through your career. With the passing of time, your family's going to be ever growing, and it's really close-knit. You're never going to have anyone that's going to shun you, you know. Once you put on this uniform, you've automatically gained a huge family that we're present all over the planet, so.
Calvin Watson, thank you, sir.
No problem at all, boss. I'm glad to have this opportunity.
All right, we're glad to have you. Senior Airman with the United States Air Force. Guys.
All right, Brody, thanks so much. Let's take a look at some plays from around the country from last night's Thursday night and Friday night rivals. North Mac and Plains, E-Dog.
Now that's what I call concentration and the interception. That's why you must always, Dean, keep your eye on the football. Great concentration by that young man. He comes up with the pick.
Looked like a game of hacky sack. Oh, my goodness.
That's called
my goodness.
Blown up, and he held onto the ball.
Where did he come back from? Uh-oh.
Oh, he got kicked because he took the ball off of his foot.
Mom, I want to be a punter. You won't get hurt, will you, son? No, I won't get hurt.
He just kind of took it right off of his foot.
That's out of Raleigh up in North Carolina. Still waiting for that Charleston highlight for our Friday night rivals. Steubenville.
Is that a little OBJ one-hand grab into the end zone?
You got to stop with the OBJ. That's Nuke, man. What are you talking
Nuke,
about?
Exactly. DeAndre Hopkins.
Out of Nashville.
Wow.
Talking about filling space.
Looked like Aaron Rodgers getting slung to the ground with the Green Bay Packer helmets, and look at the big boy just take off.
Oh, yeah.
And lower his head and get into the end zone.
We need to look him up. I think he's committed somewhere big, that quarterback out of Roberson. This is out of Birmingham, Clay Central and Michael Jordan High.
And the game winner, not, it's blocked. No good. The ball's still loose. But hey, but you got to finish the play.
No.
Touchdown, Dean Stevens. Touchdown.
Oh, Thursday Night Lights, Friday Night Rivals from across the country. We have a 6-3 ball game here. As Brody Hart standing by with Wando coach Jimmy Noonan. Brody.
Hey, guys. All right, Coach Noonan, you're down 3 points right now. What did you talk to your team about at halftime?
Well, damage control. Offensively, we didn't execute very well. We had opportunities, and we're having trouble finishing off blocks, finishing off runs. We haven't helped them out and turned the ball over, and we got to keep doing that. Defensively, bend but don't break. We forced a field goal try there, and we stopped them right there as time was running out. So, we got to bone things up a little bit, but so far so good. So good, we're right there. Second half, we got to execute. We get the first shot on offense. We'll see if we can't get something going.
Talk about the tempo of this game. It seems like you really controlled the clock in the first half.
Well, right now that's the nature of the beast for us. We don't have much offensive punch, and we kind of get a feel for things. We're playing good, solid defense, and we kind of feel our way. Now we're going to have to get some things going right here in the second half early.
Coach Noonan, thank you, sir. Best of luck.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Guys.
By the way, Brody, I'm going to start calling you boss. We come back with a second half kickoff. You know what that means. That means toe is about to meet leather. Friday Night Rivals, Zach's halftime show. Back after this. Welcome back to Goose Creek. Beginning of the third quarter, Goose Creek with a 6-3 lead. A missed PAT and kind of a bungled drive there at the end when they started first and goal from the 1 yard line. David Kennedy's going to kick things off here. Dylan McCarthy and Macon Glover back deep. This is going to be Macon Glover at the 20-yard line, going to take it out to the 30, picking up about 15 quick yards to start at about the 36-yard line. That is Macon Bacon Glover, by the way. We're going to crunch some numbers brought to you by Anderson Brothers Bank right now. Some first half stats, Sea-Dog.
Yeah, Will Harris, 12 carries for 64 yards for the Wando Warriors. Really was all of the offense for Jimmy Noonan there in the first half. And for Goose Creek, Mukume, 157 passing yards. Also ran for 75 yards, while Mazik, the little scat back, with 39 rushing yards, but by far the most productive player. So we see Will Harris here adding to his rushing stats. Definitely was Corey Lucas on that drive that you talked about, Dean. 6 catches, 112 yards thus far.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with the tempo of the Goose Creek offense. But you can see with Coach Winstead going to the locker room, just some of the frustration he shared with me earlier in the week, all played out in the first 2 quarters. This team plays a clean football game. They're going to stockpile some wins.
And again, first year, new coaching, new system. You know, by year 2 or 3, if everything is going as planned, you would hope that those mistakes would be eliminated.
That play starts at the 39-yard line, going to finish at about the 35-yard line because of our man L.J. Stanley.
Yeah, and Simeon Kennedy also, the sophomore, there to assist Mr. Stanley. Not that he needed any help, but he was there just in case Mr. L.J. Could not bring Mr. Harris down. So a huge third down on this opening drive of the second half facing the Warriors.
3rd and 9 from about the 37-yard line. Difficult time for this Wando offense to establish any kind of momentum here. Pickering back, going to look left, going to throw left. He's got a receiver, McCarthy, right there. There's going to be a flag down on number 12, Quinn Tolbert, who basically kind of lost where he was running into McCarthy.
Yeah, and that kind of looked kind of odd, Dean, in terms of pass interference. It looked like he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, but I don't see where he made any contact. Ball was thrown woefully short, so Wando may have caught a break there.
Pass interference, pick up a first down. And we'll start at the Goose Creek 48-yard line.
And I think I may agree with the Goose Creek coaching staff on that particular. I mean, it wasn't even a catchable pass, Dean. It's kind of thrown at the feet of the defender.
McCarthy back left again. He's going to go McCarthy deep down the seam. McCarthy's going to take it. Brought down at about the 28-yard line.
Little pump and go here, Dean. You see the pump, but we didn't see the pump, but definitely a pump before that throw, and the ball right on the money as McCarthy comes up with the catch along the sidelines, and the Wando Warriors with a very impressive drive out of the locker room thus far.
When we had the game against Fort Dorchester, they went to McCarthy a lot in the second half. Pickering not ready for that snap, hits him in the chest. A pile up. It's going to be taken at about the 31-yard line. Looked like one of those roundabouts you try to drive around. Not sure where exactly you're going.
I don't know if the center heard a different snap or a clap or what happened there, but definitely Pickering, as we take a look at the replay, he was still looking over the defense and making the call. Unfortunately for the Wando Warriors, they were able to fall on it and save this drive.
So after an impressive throw and catch, it's going to be -4. Pickering scrambling, going left. You saw the hold, they saw the hold.
We all saw the hold that particular time. Unfortunately for Mr. Edwards, caught red-handed. And I can understand because they've had a very difficult time blocking L.J. Stanley tonight, our player that we highlighted. He's been in the backfield a lot. Almost you would think, if I didn't know any better, potentially be a running back for the Wando Warriors. He's in the backfield so much.
You think so? All right, so that was.
I have to give Mr. Edwards a little help there. So maybe a little chip.
I'm not sure if I blinked. We were sitting at 2nd and 12 from the 30, and now we're back to the 48-yard line.
That's a long way to go. About 30 yards. According to the scoreboard, yeah, second down and 29 facing the Warriors.
I guess I'm confused where the 18 yards loss came from and the 15-yard penalty. Noonan in motion, Pickering in backfield. He's going to hand it off to Harris up middle, tries to get outside. It's been a tough place to go all night long.
Yeah, Harris has tried to turn the corner, but give credit to this athletic defense of the Goose Creek Gators. They kind of got their eyes on Mr. Harris, who had a very solid first half with his 64 yards on the ground, and they're starting to key on him now. If you're third down and, well, forever for the Wando Warriors here, Dean, just something safe, maybe a screen of some sort, so that way you can maybe punt the ball here and pin them deep in their territory.
Pickering's going to go back. He's just going to launch it across the middle. Had Noonan there, just let him a little bit too much. That would have taken him just back to the original line of scrimmage.
But even then, because of the leg of Andrew Weil, had they been able to connect on that play, I'm sure you would have seen Weil come in for the field goal and attempt. But instead, the punt team for the Wando Warriors. So what appeared to be a very promising drive for Wando will stall out the Goose Creek 47, and they're going to have to punt it away back to the dangerous Corey Lucas.
We're going to have a flag coming up on number 45. That's Jameel McGee got into the punter, Kellen Noonan.
That's mostly because he ran through the through the up guy. Just kind of ran through him and got to Noonan before he knew what hit him.
And it will be a roughing the punter, which means they will get a first down. Not a 5-yard variety, but it'll be a fresh. It'll be a fresh 1st and 10.
Yeah, Mr. Harris of Wando normally is the one laying the licks, but that time he was definitely on the receiving end of that punt rush.
Now, I take it back. Kerry Collins' first motion, that'll be first down for Wando.
I don't think.
And now it's going to be a 5-yard variety, and Goose Creek waves it off, and they will take the ball 1st and 10 at about the 17-yard line.
So let's see if Wando makes any adjustments here in the second half. We talked about the big first half by Corey Lucas with 112 yards receiving, and also Makumo, who had a big yard running it and throwing it. Let's see if they make some adjustments here.
They go right back up the middle. No adjusting for Justin Pellick. He's just going to play hard and stick his nose in there.
I mean, the guy just makes plays. He just tackles. He's all over the place. You know, tough linebacker. What he may lack in not necessarily athleticism, but just pure speed. He's just a tough football player. Jimmy Noonan said one that definitely has been a leader for this Warrior defensive unit.
1-yard loss. Dante Smith now in the game, going to have a block on the outside. Nick Wilson, the linebacker, getting after it as they defend that swing pass pretty well.
And all of a sudden now, Dean, you're starting to see a little pep in the step of this Wando defense. The first 2 drives, Goose Creek really marched the ball right down the field with ease. But since then, and even right before the half, obviously they had another drive. But in between, they've really done a nice job of forcing some 3-and-outs against this Goose Creek offense.
Maurice Mazik out. Dante Smith is back in. Looks to block. He's going to come out to the left a little bit. But Makumu is going to throw it across his body. Going to be a little bit short on the 3rd down. He had room to run if he wanted it.
Yeah.
Wanted to go for the big pickup on the pass play and didn't get it.
Yeah, Wando lost containment there. Kind of got sucked in, and you're right. He definitely could have taken off and probably picked up the first down with his running skills. But he elected to try and get it to Muzan and couldn't do it. So the defense again of the Wando Warriors forces a 3-and-out. And they should get good field position here, Dean, so they've got to capitalize on these opportunities.
Keep an eye on Macon Bacon. He's got some speed. If he's got some room to field the punt, it'll bound at the 45, and it'll stop and pick up about a 3-yard roll. So a couple of penalties stopping the Wando drive early. It's 7:23 here in the 3rd quarter. It remained a 6-3 game as Wando takes over once again in Goose Creek territory. We're back after this. Welcome back. 6-3 Goose Creek game here in the third quarter. Let's go down to the sidelines. We have our David Ayler Law Office Educator Spotlight and Brody Hart. Brody?
Thank you, Dean. I'm here with Chaz Coger. He's the assistant principal at Wando High School. All right, so what's going on at Wando right now that we need to know about?
So over at Wando, last week, our boys and girls swim team won state, so they brought home the victory for that last week. We also
both teams,
both teams, okay. Yeah, both boys and girls 5A state champions. Right. We also had homecoming week last week. We did door decorating contests with our teachers. We had Spirit Week, anything from Pajama Day to Fanatic Day. We had a great time on our Spirit Week last week. Brought home the victory on our homecoming game, so that was great. And yeah, we just, as always, we have a high enrollment in our AP courses. We give over 2,800 tests, so we're increasing that number again this year. And
got to do something to keep up with those 4,000 plus students.
Absolutely. And so growing, and it's just getting better every day over at Wando. So,
what are you looking forward to in the next the second half of the semester leading into the holidays?
The second half, just really kind of getting in the groove. We kind of got interrupted a couple of times with a hurricane, so you felt like we've started school a couple of times over, and just really kind of getting in the groove and just kind of settling in and bringing it home. So excited about this football team, what we got going on. We got a great basketball team coming up this season, and with wrestling as well. Our volleyball coach, we're going heading into volleyball playoffs here soon, hopefully going to another state title and bringing it home this year. So we got a lot of things to look forward to the second half of the school year.
So that's a good interview, and you can say the word state title several times in regards to several sports.
Absolutely.
All right. Chaz Coger, thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
So, guys.
Did he say growing? Wando's already the biggest high school in the state, and he said growing. So I don't know what's going on.
It is growing. I mean, every time you drive around Mount Pleasant, there's new homes going up. So obviously it's growing.
Yeah, hence why Lucy Beckham High School will be here
in a couple of years. Yep, a couple of years. All right, so Wando looking at a 3rd and 8 right now. Jimmy Newman looking for a little bit of a balanced attack. You know, the one thing that Pickering will give you a little bit of athleticism, doesn't have the arm strength as a Reed Garris. Garris, baseball prospect playing for the baseball team. 3rd and 8, Harris goes in motion. Pickering's going to take it. He's going to run it right up the belly. He's going to have a little bit of room. And looks like the spot will be about 6 inches short.
Yeah. Good call there, Dean, because I think he had to get down to the 39, and he made it to the 40. But 4th down here, Dean, you got to give it to Mike Allstott and let Allstott pick up this yard, man. Give it to 32.
H-back Sullivan Vanderveen is coming into the game. Harris is still there. Pickering's there. 12 seconds on the clock.
Just don't run the L.J. Stanley side.
They're going to pitch it out wide left. And
that's a hold,
they're going to pick up a hold.
I saw it as soon as it happened.
And I'm going to tell you right now, the young man had his hand wrapped around, and as soon as it wrapped, he took it back quick, but not quick enough.
Yeah, it was very visible, even from our vantage point. And once again, you know, Wando trying to pitch it and turn around the, running sideline to sideline, and they've had their most success tonight, running straight ahead. So that 1st down run is going to be negated by the holding penalty. And that will force the punt team back onto the field.
We have seen these teams hurt themselves with mental mistakes as Noonan punts it. Everybody clears out. Tell you what he lacks in distance, he gets with roll. It's something else.
Well, you see it now, all these punters doing these rugby kicks and praying for the roll.
Yeah.
So good job as they pin the Gators back inside the 15-yard line. But the key is, can they come up with another defensive stop?
The key is on homecoming, exactly what are they going to have? At Zaxby's, as we check in with our Zaxby's fans cam. One wanted to be on TV. I don't think the other two did. You?
They got out of there as quickly as Mazik, the running back for Goose Creek.
5:33 on the clock. Flag comes down prior to the snap.
And you know, Dean, you think about it, you're in week 6, 7, 8 for some teams. You know, you would think this far into the season you wouldn't see some of these mental breakdowns. I would expect this maybe in week 0 or week 1 or week 2, but to be this deep into the season has got to be very disappointing for both coaching staffs.
I don't have the official total. That's got to be about 7 or 8 penalties on Goose Creek right now. Quick pass to the outside. Justin Pellick's there, and that big club hand caused a fumble on the play. As Pellick went by, his hand got stuck in there and knocked the football out.
No, they're going to say, recovered by Goose Creek.
Yeah, there you see the quick pass.
Pellick, just, all over the place. One-man wrecking crew, popped it out, but unfortunately the Warriors not able to catch a break there. So the Goose Creek Gator offense try to make the most of their second opportunity.
Lukwamu going to fake the pass. Is looking and looking. He's got Tyler Rose all over the place, or Tucker Rose, should I say. Finally able to complete the pass, but great pursuit by that Wando defense.
Yes, indeed, and Luke McCaleb there on the stop for the Wando Warriors and not giving up on the play. And one noticeable difference is they've done a better job, Dean, of keeping Mukuma in the pocket, not letting him just kind of escape and make plays outside of the pocket. So a nice adjustment by the Wando defense. Let's see what the Goose Creek Gators dial up here on this third down play.
By the way, Luke McCaleb, you brought up his name, number 36, the senior, 19 tackles against Berkeley a couple weeks ago. I said 19.
That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in one game. And another penalty flag here, Dean. Or is it going to be a timeout?
Yep. I think the clock was about to run out, and Coach Winstead said, I can't handle any more laundry on my field, and I'll just go ahead and get a timeout right here, up 6-3 with 4 minutes left here in the second quarter.
6-3, that's, I guess, somewhat of a defensive struggle. If you're Goose Creek, I'm sure Goose Creek easily, Dean, I would say, has at least almost close to 300 yards, but unfortunately for them, they only have 6 points to show for it.
Well, you take a look at Goose Creek, and they've got a lot of young kids. Offensively, they start 3 seniors. But he said, I'm going to start 5 sophomores and a freshman, and that's part of the process. He's got enough kids where he's got a small JV team. Wando does not have a JV team, but he's loaded up on some of his younger teams. And that's one of the differences that he talked about from where he came from and some of the upper state teams is just the feeder system, the middle school teams, the B teams, the JV teams, the number that come out. And he said that's the biggest thing he's fighting right now, is trying to get those numbers up. Mukwamu's going to hand it off inside. This is Dante Smith back in the game. Did not see him in the first half. Had battled some injuries. He's not going to pick up the first down. Picks up about 4. I'm looking for Mazik on the sidelines. I don't see him out there anywhere.
And you would think with him and his small stature, that's one of those guys you want to kind of throw the swing pass out of the backfield and try to get him in open space. And Wanda's basically eliminated that here in the second half and what has been a defensive struggle. And once again, Wanda with another opportunity to get great field position.
Kennedy, this was going off the side of his foot. It's going to bounce at the 25-yard line. And again, a flag down by the punter, Kennedy. A referee, Kerry Collins. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty. Will it be enough for a first down?
It's going to be awfully close.
That would be a running into the kicker, not a roughing the kicker call.
Boy, would that be not fortunate for the Wando defense, because now they're looking at, instead of having first down and 10 from the 25-yard line, now they're back on defense. It'll be a first down for Goose Creek. And a tough break for the Wando Warriors, and Goose Creek Gators dodge a bullet.
There were about 3 or 4 Wando kids in on the play. I think the bad snap, the good handles by Kennedy. I think they kind of saw the ball on the ground there. They thought they'd have a chance to maybe get a block out of it. But instead of it's 1st and 10 here for Goose Creek.
But that goes back to the mental toughness. That situation, you set up the return because you know you're going to get outstanding field position. That should not have happened, just in case something of that nature happens, and an unfortunate break for the Warriors.
So they will set up at the 25-yard line. Mukwamu looking, great defense by the secondary. Going to be able to throw it across the middle and hit Darnell Matthews for about a 7-yard gain, or is it? If they listen to Wando, it's an incomplete pass. The referees say no, it's going to be 2nd down and 4.
I have to wonder, Dean, if that was a design run, because you look at it, Corey Lucas was kind of like blocking it. He just taken off and ran down the field. He would have been wide open on that particular play. But take a great look at the moon, Dean.
Mukwamu coming out to Lucas again. Looks to be right on the spot. I don't know if they'll bring in the chains or call it a 1st down. They're going to go ahead and move the chains, and the 1st down completion to Lucas.
Lucas now unofficially, but I believe 9 catches on the night. A big night for that young man. The 6-foot junior wide receiver for Goose Creek, and he wasn't ready for the snap.
It's the 2nd time that we've seen it. Ball still on the ground. Mukwamu was able to get to it at the 15-yard line. We saw it on the offensive side of the ball for Wando. Now we see it on the Goose Creek side of the football.
Yeah, I think he indeed himself was looking over the defense. And here comes the snap, and a wise decision by him not to try and pick the ball up, to simply fall on it and secure possession and give himself another chance here on this 2nd down play. But a huge loss for Goose Creek.
25-yard loss, in fact.
It's just like each team just trying to outdo each other in terms of the mental mistakes. One catches a break, then the other one gives it right back to them, and vice versa.
20-yard loss. There's a little screen pass out front, and an interception as Mukwamu throws it off his back foot. And coming up with a great play and a great catch is number 16, Ramsey Turnage, the senior for the Warriors.
Yeah, it almost looked like he was the wide receiver, one Warrior in the midst of 3 black jerseys, and somehow he gets a good read on it, and he comes up with the interception. So not sure how that happened, but a great play, as you mentioned, by the senior, Ramsey Turnage, 5'11", 181-pounder, gives Wando their best starting field position of the night.
So Wando's going to take it at the 12-yard line. They've been seemingly starting in Goose Creek territory all night, but have only got 3 points to show from it. Pickering sets up. He's got Harris blocking out front. He's going to throw it outside to Noonan, go down to the 10, out at the 8-yard line.
That's somewhat of a dangerous throw, Dean. You're throwing across the hash marks all the way across the field. Fortunately, the Goose Creek defender did not jump on that. They come up with the pick. And a nice catch by Noonan, and 2nd down coming up.
That was one of the harder balls that Pickering's thrown all night. Needed to let it loose when you're throwing it from that far hash all the way across the field. McCarthy's at the top of the screen. The kid's a great athlete, one of the top pole vaulters of his age group in the country. Give it to Harris up the middle. He's got some good blocking inside. That's number 26 stepping up. That's Naima Simmons with the stop.
That'll probably be the final play of the 3rd quarter, unless Wando wants to get one final snap off. And Dean, I'm thinking, even though you do have the big leg of Andrew Wiles, this is 2-down territory. But you have to think, if you can somehow punch this in and take the lead the way that your defense has been playing here in the 2nd half, it might be enough.
Pickering's going to take it himself. He's going to go to the outside. He's going to get met by Simmons again. This is why the young man leads the team in tackles. 2 big ones right there on 2nd and 3rd down, and the pressure now as we go into the 4th quarter. What does Jimmy Noonan do here?
Yeah, in this
Does he
situation,
kick the field goal to tie?
I think you got to bring Andrew Weil out, because the defense of the Goose Creek Gators stepping up, and a big stop by Simmons to force the 4th down when we come back.
It's a 6-3 game. Homecoming here at Goose Creek. Wando hanging close. A game no one seems to want to win. You're watching Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet. Welcome back. Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet. Start the fourth quarter, a 6-3 game here at Goose Creek homecoming. Jimmy Noonan has decided to settle on the 27-yard field goal attempt by Andrew Weil. When we talked last week, problems have plagued them. Field goals of 22, 21, and 19, stalling out in the red zone. Bigger problem for Goose Creek, another penalty. And now you got to do a decision if you're Jimmy Noonan. If you're looking at 4th and 1. Everett, that question was to you.
This is 4th and 7, so 4th and 2. If it's a long 2, Dean, if it's me, I spread the defense out.
Yep.
And then I give it to Mike Allstott, Mr. Will Harris up the middle. Because you just can't get in a tight bunch, but they're going to keep Weil on the field and let Weil attempt to tie this game, which is pretty much automatic for Andrew Weil. Hopefully I did not just jinx him.
So it's a long 1 yard, so he's going to keep Weil in the game and play for the tie right here, and he's going to drill it from 20 yards out.
And that's a win for the Goose Creek defense. I mean, you got to consider where Wando started deep in their territory, and the defense of the Gators able to step up, rise to the occasion, and force the 3. And we're tied at 6. And how big is that missed extra point now, Dean, in the first touchdown for the Gators?
Well, it's big as we crunch some numbers, brought to you by Anderson Brothers Bank. Goose Creek went through a huge resurgence during the Chuck Reedy years, the Reedy Ripple. He was 119-47 in 13 years. Chuck Reedy was. State championship as well.
2011.
Since he left, 14-15 in the last 3 years. And that's what Jason Winstead is trying to change and trying to turn the corner.
And you have to thank Dean. You know, he probably could have had another one the year they got disqualified from the playoffs for the ineligible player. And, you know, a lot of great talent has come through this Goose Creek program, probably most notably being Brandon Shell, who I believe starts at right tackle for the New York Jets, the nephew of Art Shell. Also Tremel Terry, who was Mr. Football here, had a great high school career, just a ton of injuries at the collegiate level, now a senior at...
Oh my gosh, there's a penalty on the kickoff. I'm
Jacksonville
sorry to interrupt you. We have a penalty on the kickoff. Have we had a penalty on almost every play that we can think of?
I think pretty much, yeah.
I think maybe the next one will be maybe too many men on the field. We haven't seen that one yet.
Maybe that will help stop. Actually, we have our statistician, in the next room over. Next break, Dean, we may have to go.
You want to walk in there and see what the totals look like?
Just see how many
you want to make that run right now. I can handle this. I can handle the kickoff. Now the good news is Andrew Weil, even 5 yards back, has got a tremendous leg. As Mazik is back deep again, and Corey Lucas for the Gators. Let's see if they try to squib this one. This has kind of been what they've done a couple of times when they've kicked off tonight.
All right, you ready for this?
Wild's going to kick it off. Mazik's going to take it at the 4-yard line. Mazik's going to take it up the center to the 20. Going to be slowed down, tripped up, scoots out to about the 27-yard line.
Goose Creek,
I'm ready.
Unofficially, 11 penalties for 99 yards. A whole football field of penalties. Wando, 6 for 53.
The fans cam. Going to pick up the perfect dozen. I'm telling you, every night we do this Zaxby's fans cam. And I'm thinking, I got to get me some Zaxby's on the way home, right?
Can't go wrong with Zaxby's.
Homecoming crowd looking for a Goose Creek win. Winner of this game, pick up their first regional win in 7-5A. Mukwamu in the backfield. Mazik is back there as well. Mazik's going to take it. Brought down after about a 2-yard gain.
Nice tackle. Raymond Rivera stopping Mazik from getting even further down the field.
And that's where Goose Creek had their success early on in this game. I mean, they used the big cheese up front. Tremaine James was opening up huge holes. Mazik was picking up yardage by the chunks. They also got a Mukwamu back and step up, throw it out right. A nice catch there by number 8, Damon Muzan. And this is the guy that leads the team in receptions, and I think that may have been his first or second.
That was a nice catch by Luzon, coming back for that pass that was a little short. Getting his arms underneath the football as we have a injured player on the field for the Wando Warriors.
Jalen Edwards. Now also number 70 on the offensive line as a lineman come over for Goose Creek. His name is Jaden Johnson.
Yeah.
Double J.
Yeah.
6'2", 270.
He's a freshman.
He started the year on the B team.
Wow.
He was pulled up after 3 games. He's 6'2", 270, and he just turned 15.
Yeah.
Right? So you look at a guy like Jaden Johnson, and this is what he's talking about. Some of the kids on this team who have the ability to play at the next level. Because as you said, and you were interrupted earlier and failed to mention Javon Kinlaw.
Yeah.
Right?
He'll be playing on Sundays.
Just a monster. But he tells his kids, I mean, he looks at, Jaden Johnson at 6'2", 270, and Tremaine in the middle at 6'2", 365. And then on the defensive side of the ball, he loves some of these guys. And he's like, I keep telling them, they keep putting the work in. There's a place for them to play on Saturday. It may not be Alabama. Probably won't be. But there's a place to play. Mukwamu going to fake it, tuck it, go to the outside of the left side, going to pick up the first down, +4, gain of 14 for Goose Creek.
And now all of a sudden those running lanes starting to open up once again for Goose Creek. We saw this on the first 2 drives. Just a little quick fake there and take off around the left end. And a nice run by the Gators. Gators driving once again.
Start at the Wando 48-yard line. Zeke's going to take it inside. Slowing him down is number 40, Nick Wilson, the linebacker who called his name quite a few times tonight.
But what's so impressive about Mazik, him being so small and his ability to run between the tackles, very impressive for that young man. Again, I'm still looking for a swing pass, Dean. Swing pass.
You want the swing pass?
To the wide side of the field. And just let him make people miss.
You got receivers stacked 8, 9, and 10 on the right side, and there's more laundry on the field.
Somebody a little too anxious.
And it's going to go against Goose Creek. It's going to be a false start. And those are the mental mistakes
that unfortunately, Dean, you have to live with when you are a coach of a very young football team. As they grow with you, you just got to take those lumps now. And as we take a look, there is that Mr. Jaden Johnson, number 70, right there to the left of the center.
Coach Winstead he might have to live with him, but he certainly doesn't have to like them.
No, not at all.
Mukwamu going to hand it off to the inside. And there goes Mazik up the middle, just like you talked about. It's going to get them back into positive territory, set up about a 3rd and 6.
Goose Creek, they went from him. Mazik had 40 yards rushing in the first half. And he kind of disappeared. Now he's back and making a positive impact on this Goose Creek offense in a huge 3rd and 6 coming up. The Gators want to continue this drive.
5 receivers set. Mazik on the move, fakes it. Mukwamu's going to take it straight up front. What a strong runner. Going to pick up about 20 yards on the play. But he starts running downhill, and it's hard to stop. Yeah.
It is indeed. A little fake here, and not even really a fake. Wasn't patient enough and executing the fake with Mazik cutting across. Saw the hole in the middle, just took off and picked up a much-needed first down for the Gators to keep the drive alive. And another penalty flag. Nope, this time it'll be a timeout called by the Wando Warriors.
Drive started at Goose Creek 27, and now they're set up at the Wando 27 after 5 plays.
And not only is this a very impressive drive by Goose Creek, but they're also taking some time off the clock.
9 minutes left, 8 seconds to go as well. It's a 6-6 ball game, but the Gators are on the move. You're watching Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruise Chevrolet. It's your Will Lou Gray, never stop learning, stop of the game. Pass back in the corner of the end zone. The great pick by the junior quarterback, Eddie Scott. That happened early on as Wando shut down the drive. I think just an exceptional play by the defensive back. Will Lou Gray, never stop learning, stop of the game. And if Wando ever needed a stop of the game, it needs to come right here, right now. 1st and 10 at the 27.
We heard Coach Noonan talk about it to start the second half, that bend but don't break mentality. Goose Creek, for the most part, has done a great job of moving the ball between the 20s, but once they've gotten inside the 20-yard line, that's where things seem to bog down. So let's see if Goose Creek can take advantage here, or will the Wando defense rise once again?
Kwamu look, he's going to go back deep right. He's picking on Eddie Scott again, throws it out of bounds. Had Jack Carson, the ball was outside.
Not a lot of touch.
I'm sorry,
there.
Jack Carson was on the coverage. He was throwing the ball to Damon Muzan. Got my eights mixed up. Crazy eights.
And I'm thinking maybe the coaching staff of Goose Creek, they don't want him throwing over the middle. Every pass we've seen thus far from Goose Creek has been on the outside, so you have to think the middle probably somewhat wide open.
There's your swing pass in and out of the hands of Mazik. And you talk about why not go over the middle? Because that's where that Peltic guy lives.
You got to get it over his head. But here's the swing pass, Dean. You talked about it, and that's awfully close, Dean.
It is a forward pass.
To a backwards pass, but I'll go with you. You said it was a
defer
forward
to me.
one. Yes.
All right. So 2 incomplete passes after they were so successful running the ball. They're going to go back to the pass again. Nope. He's going to set up and run. He's going to throw it, and looks like he went over the line of scrimmage when he threw the ball. And I think that will be the penalty. Another flag comes down at about the 24-yard line.
Mr. Reliable, Corey Lucas, who's caught everything tonight except a cold there again. But
the
like
ball
you
was
said,
set at the 27-yard line. It looks like that's going to be the call. Pretty close. I don't know if we have a wider shot of that exactly. Really close.
Where's the yellow line or the blue
really,
line?
we don't have. We did not purchase that package.
I mean, Nick Case and those guys in the truck who do a phenomenal job, obviously, with our Friday night rivals. The guys behind the camera, they got to give us a blue line so that we can see. You know, we got get that in the package next year, Dino.
You want that package?
Yes.
All right, the second penalty on this drive. First one is an offsides. This is going to set up about a 3rd and 15. Now you got some late substitutions coming into the game.
Got one safety on top.
You got 12 on the clock, 10 on the clock. Mukwamu looking over the sidelines, reads his wristband to get the play. 5 on the clock. And he's going to fake the handoff and go inside where you wanted it thrown, but not enough there. And that's Nathan Lewis with the emphatic tackle. It's going to leave about a 4th and 5 coming up.
And here, I don't think your field goal kicker can make it from here, so I'm pretty sure they're going to go forward here on 4th down. And again, you just want to spread out the defense. I mean, you have an athletic, mobile quarterback like Makuma. Let him just take off and run if he does not have a play in terms of the passing game.
4th and 8 from the 27. Got to get to the 19-yard line. He's got Mazik going out right. He's going to jump pass it across the middle. What a great throw to Corey Lucas. Lucas going to do the rest, going to spin into the end zone. And the Gators' second touchdown of the night.
Wando got caught in the blitz. They brought the pressure off of the edge. Nice composure by the Gators to dump it off to Mr. Reliable, Corey Lucas, and he's able to scatter his way through the Wando defense, spinning, turning, and he's in the end zone for 6. Wando gambled on the defensive end, or the defensive front, came with pressure and just could not get to him quick enough, and a big play by Goose Creek.
And I'm telling you, ever since you said they needed to throw it over the middle, they went there twice. They found a soft spot. And Corey Lucas continues his excellent night as Mukwamu puts it right on the money. The extra point is good by David Kennedy. It's a 13-6 game, 7:45 left. Wando has the ball with an opportunity to take a lead or tie the game.
That's an extra point huge because that makes it now a 7-point game. Get our guys in the truck to not give the Goose Creek fans a heartache, a heart attack. It's actually 13-6 Goose Creek with the lead.
It's a 7-play drive on a 4th and 8 from the 27. Corey Lucas. How many catches Corey Lucas got?
Well, he had 6 at the half. I'd say at least 10 unofficially. And probably close to 150 yards.
You want to go 10?
On the evening.
13-6 game. 7:45 left. Kennedy's going to kick it off. You got Glover.
Oh, for some reason the clock's running, and what's going on here? They just lost about 6 seconds. The clock ran before he even kicked the football, and the referees didn't notice it.
So Kennedy hits Glover, and yeah, they about 5 seconds there clicked off.
So can the Wando Warriors respond, or will the Goose Creek Gators, who also kind of that bend but don't break mentality, while Wando really is not drove the ball on Goose Creek most of the times, the Warriors just had outstanding field position. Now they'll have to drive it about, I'd say about 65 yards if they want to tie it up.
Start at the 39-yard line. That's Pickering doing a lot of work for just 4 yards on the play.
It's still plenty of time, as you can see, but over 7 minutes. No need to start airing it out like the LA Rams and just throwing it all over the place. Still take your time. Just work the ball down the field, because you probably don't want to give the ball back to Goose Creek with a lot of time.
A defensive front for Goose Creek doing a great job as they stand up Will Lewis, or Will Harris, should I say, just beyond, right about the line of scrimmage. But that's where I think Goose Creek's defense and the defensive coordinator, who, oh, by the way, happens to be their head coach, I think they see the limitation in the passing game for Wanda. They're like, let's stack the box and let's make them throw the ball, because they're having a tough time running it on 3rd and 7 right here with 6:30 left in the game.
Simeon Kennedy and L.J. Stanley, those two in that front four have been outstanding for Goose Creek tonight. Wando with not a lot of running room against those guys.
Yep, Pickering going to put his head down and lose about 3 yards on the play. Not even a thought of throwing the ball. And again, taking nothing away from Pickering, but if you're not able to wing the ball around the field in a situation in a game like this, I mean, you take a look at some of the stats. He was 7 of 15 for 104 yards against West Ashley on the year, 26 of 54 for 372. You may bring in Garris here to be able to throw the ball if you're able to get the ball back.
Yeah, Garris the better passer of the two.
No deep man as Noonan gets another great roll down to about the 11-yard line. So a 4 and out for Wando at a time where they really needed a sustained drive and finish off with some points. And Goose Creek will have the ball with 5:35 left and a chance to salt this game away.
But once again, the Wando Warriors, they're going to need their defense to step up and come up with a 3 and out here. You really can't allow Goose Creek to pick up a first down. Wando with 2 timeouts left. But you know the Gators, they want to keep that clock running, keep it moving. So at all costs, Wando must not allow the Gators to pick up a first down here on this drive.
Gators got the 5 wide receivers, Mukwamu. And I'm going to tell you what, you take a look at the job that Jaden Johnson just did, pulling out, sealing off that corner, and to think he's only a freshman.
The scary part is that he actually, for 3 games, played B team. So I'm thinking, I know what B team players normally look like. And if you're rolling out Johnson here, who's 6'2", 270, as a 15-year-old, and you have little Johnny over here who's maybe 5'8", 145 pounds, that's a little disadvantage.
Yeah, Mazeek's going to take it inside for a big gain. And I mean really big gain down to the 50-yard line, pulled down by Eddie Scott at the 45-yard line.
That guy is just fast. You get him out in the open space, just a straight run up the middle, kind of delayed handoff, and just took off. And this is where we saw this also, Dean, in the Fort Dorchester game, where the fourth quarter, just a lack of depth for Wando starts to rear its ugly head, and these teams are able to just wear down this Wando defense.
Tremaine James as some moron runs on the field. They should send Jaden Johnson and Pellick after him. So on that play, I kept an eye on Tremaine James, the center, the big cheese.
Yeah, cheese
right?
Man. Yeah.
At 365, the block that you can seal off in the middle, and that's where they found their success. And I had my guy Raekwon last year, right? That was my guy.
right. Raekwon from Fort Dorchester.
He's playing at Wingate now. Had a nice game the other day. Returned a 40-yard kickoff.
Right.
This is the same guy. This is my guy now. I went from Raekwon, 5'5", 112 pounds, to Tremaine, the big cheese.
He's
the
a
campaign
senior.
starts right now.
He would look good on somebody at the next level's nose guard position because he could clog up the middle for sure.
Keep an eye on him here. Manny in the shotgun, going to take the snap at a 50, 1st and 10 at the 45. Mazik takes it to the outside, cuts it back in, stays inbound, which means the clock continues to roll.
I don't know if it was by design or not, but smart play, not going out of bounds. Right now, the clock is your friend. You have the lead. And quite honestly, with another 9 yards here, Wando will have to start using their timeouts to stop Goose Creek.
They operate under a number system. They call them their plays. A lot of times you see big boards with pictures on it as Mazik takes it back inside. Going to be stopped right around the 1st down marker. He needed to get to about the 36-yard line.
If we just get a shot right there on 79, cheese. Just massive. 365 pounds. And that time he kind of tapped his chest to say, my bad. But who's going to argue with him when you're 365 pounds? No matter what he does.
Kwama's going to take it over center, 3rd and 1. Trying to get Wanda to jump. He pulls back, as does the Wanda defenders. The big cheese, also smart kid, good in the classroom.
Bet you when he goes to Zaxby's, they are loving it for sure.
Here's tonight's smooth move of the game, brought to you by Yaden Chiropractic Clinic. Go deep, young man, go deep. As number 16, Corey Lucas, a junior, having a great night. Ukwamu, he knows where to go tonight. And he has found him throughout.
Time and time and time again.
Wando's defense needing to stop here.
But Dean, another valiant effort by this Wando defense. We saw it when they played Fort Dorchester. There's no quitting these kids, and you have to respect them for coming out every Friday night and playing to the end, leaving it all on the field. And as a coach, that's really all that you can ask for. Sometimes you're going to be outmatched physically. There's going to be teams that have more athletes. But the one thing you can't control is your effort, and it seems like these Wando kids seem to give maximum effort game in and game out.
Dante Smith back in the game. Dante Smith looks like he's going to have enough for the 1st down. So they go to the bigger back instead of Mazik. Mazik will come back in. Smith will come out.
I guess this is the Goose Creek version of thunder and lightning.
Well, here's the thing. It's not a real big storm. As our cheer of the week winner, the Goose Creek Gator cheerleaders. Thanks everybody for texting in, taking part. It's not a very big storm, this thunder and lightning. Mazik is 5'5", 145. Dante 5'10", 190. Right? We're not talking C.J. Spiller kind.
That's a good point, but definitely my man Mazik, just very slick, just very smooth.
Oh, I like him, and again, you see. As Smith does pick up the 1st down. New set of downs, 2:38 left in the game. But with the youth on this team, and you see what kind of offense he likes to run, and the big boys up front, and again, you lose Cheese and you lose Quentin Jones, the right guard. There's size all around, and that's where you win these football games at this level, at all levels, really.
And, of course, when you win, everyone wants to be a part of it. You talked about it when Chuck Reedy was here. They would have 150 people on the football team. Some down years here as of late, and so the numbers have gone down. But I can guarantee you, if this team starts winning again, those guys that are not playing now, that may be out playing, say, basketball for Blake Hall, all of a sudden now those guys will once again, be those two sports stars that you've seen in the past. You think of guys like Raymond Robinson and Dantes Bannerman, just a couple that come to mind. That
Chris Singleton can shoot the three, by the way.
And obviously hit a fastball since he's a major league or a professional baseball player now.
Right, that'll change. I'll tell you what, watching McQuamu right there on first down, he let that play clock go down to about 7 seconds before he called the play, doing the same thing right now. Football IQ. Obviously runs in the family, hands off to Zeke, tackled at the 31-yard line. And Wando's forced to use a timeout. All right, our Cruise Chevy drive of the game. It all starts with this kid, Manny McQuamu. Hits Muzan on the fast, quick pass, and then he tucks it in the left arm, and he takes it down the field for about an 18-yard gain. And the McQuamu faking again and hits Corey Lucas right over the middle. He splits the defenders, and a nice block inside on Eddie Scott. Didn't see that one until now. Looked like Muzan helping out his guys.
Been very impressed with both wide receivers, both teams' wide receivers doing a great job of just blocking down the field, something you don't normally see at the high school level.
All right, our Low Country Orthopedics and Sports Medicine player of the game. Who you got? I mean, look at, you're showing me a highlight of McQuamu throwing it to Lucas all night.
Yeah, you got to go with Corey Lucas. I mean, that guy has been lights out, Mr. Reliable, the guy that can just, unofficially, I would say, Dean, at least 12 catches for at least 150 yards receiving tonight. We'll get the official numbers here at the end. But, yeah, Corey Lewis has come up big, including scoring the potential game touchdown.
Darnell Matthews then running the ball, and now for McQuamu. He's going to pick up the first down right there on 3rd and 7, and what was a must stop. McQuamu is got his helmet off and kind of limping down the sidelines. He's at about the 44-yard line. Looks like maybe kind of testing his ankle out a little bit. So
unfortunate
Darnell
situation.
Matthews coming in.
Really, Wando can't stop the clock anymore, Dean, so these should just be kneel downs, and Goose Creek Gators are going to pick up their second consecutive victory.
They scored first in the second quarter to make it a 6-0 game. And that was helped out by a fake punt. And Jamil McGee made it a 6-0 game, and then Wando answered back with a short field goal by Andrew Wild to make it 6-3. Wando tied it at 6, and then you saw the touchdown that put him up 13-6. With a minute left here in the game.
Fall is the best time of the year, isn't it, Dean? You got high school football, college football, you got Major League Baseball playoffs going on now, NBA stars, NHL. Just a good time to be a sports fan.
Matthews in the shotgun, going to take the snap, kneel it down at the 35-yard line. The clock sits at 53 seconds. We'll see when they run the 25-second clock if that's going to be the last play of the game. Nope. They will need to have one more snap of the ball, and that will be the end of the game. So really interesting ball game tonight. Not pretty, not clean. I think for Wando, the number of injuries really hurt this ball club. For Goose Creek, you saw a new talent at quarterback. You saw some nice young talent, and there was no hole in that cheese.
Not tonight. A big effort from the Gators. Now winners of back-to-back games, and they also have the upper hand when it comes to, in terms of seeding potentially. They will all try to vie for second place behind the Berkeley Stags.
That is a darn good football team. So 13-6, the final score. Manny, the man at the helm at the quarterback, finding Corey Lucas at a big game for him. We're back here from coaches right after this. You're watching Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruise Chevrolet. A great scene here at Goose Creek High School for homecoming as the football players and the cheer squad right in front of the fan section celebrating their 13-6 win over Wando on Friday Night Rivals, My TV Charleston. Coming up in just a moment, we'll hear from the head coach, Jason Winstead. He told us earlier this week, he goes, I love the idea of putting my kids on TV. He goes, these kids never get that kind of exposure. He's like, we're going to have a blast. Now, at halftime, a lot of the penalties, a lot of the things that set them back a little bit throughout this year came up and bit them. Second half, cleaner game of football, and why they finished up with a 13-6 win. Statman, what do you got?
It's with 10 receptions.
Say it again.
Lucas.
Yeah.
Corey Lucas, 10 receptions, 146 yards receiving, and 1 touchdown.
Yep.
Also our quarterback, 126 yards, Mukumu, 126 yards rushing, Dean, and 212 yards passing and a touchdown. And, of course, our little scat back, Mr. Maurice Mazik.
You like him.
14 carries for 95 yards.
Fantastic. So Jason Winstead liked the idea of playing on TV tonight, and he came up with a win. You want me to head it down to Brody?
Let the man through. Come get this trophy, Manny. Hey, back up. Come get this trophy, Manny. Come accept this trophy, boy. Come on now, guys. Hey, come on, guys. Come on now, guys. Where you at? Come on, guys. Corey Lucas. Corey. Somebody find Corey Lucas.
Hey, all right. Hey, guys. So, first of all, we got Corey Lucas. He is the Low Country Orthopedic Player of the Game. Coach, I want to ask you a couple questions about tonight. You got the ball with 5.5 minutes left. You didn't give it back.
Yeah, well, that's what we want to do on offense, and we've been working towards that, and it was good. It was good to see us finish the game finally tonight.
How do you take this momentum into next week?
Oh, we're just going to keep building, try to get better every week, just try to keep playing harder and harder and harder and get better each and every week.
Okay, all right. Now I'm going to get out of the way before I do this. I'm going to go ahead and give you the Friday Night Rivals trophy.
All right. So the Goose Creek Gators, Corey Lucas, our player of the game. Thanks to all our sponsors for making FNR possible. Tonight's final score, 16-13. Later tonight, you get to tune into ABC News 4 at 11 o'clock for Friday Night Rivals and a complete rundown of all the scores from around the Low Country. That's, of course, with Scott Eisberg and Darren Stolzfus. Your biggest takeaway tonight, E-Dog?
Athletic quarterback that can run it, he can throw it. This Goose Creek team, they got some good football ahead of them.
And again, it's the buy-in factor, right? That's what he talked about this week. He was like, we saw things when we had kids come out. They saw about how we went about our business, how we go about working them out, how we go about our summer workouts, our conditioning, our weightlifting. Those who didn't want to stick around didn't stick around. And right now you hear Jason Winstead talking a little bit about what it takes and about the culture. And that's what he said was the biggest thing that's got to change is the culture. And that's why I think he loves the opportunity to play on Friday Night Rivals.
It's just a challenge. And like you said, you got to start some way. You start from the bottom, and then you work your way up. And this Goose Creek team, a lot of young guys that make mistakes now, but you hope next year and the year after, those mistakes will no longer present themselves.
So a beautiful night for football. Dave Williams dialed us in tonight. Mother Nature helped us out. Next week, we go down to Walterboro, the front porch of the Low Country. Beaufort taking on Colleton County as we see them for the first time this season. For Everett German, I'm Dean Stevens. Thanks to everybody that made this broadcast possible. The crew, awesome again. We'll see you next week.